Welcome everybody to a really exciting interview that I'm actually pumped to have. Um, Normally when we do these things, we're bringing in different guests from different companies talking about a variety of topics for, to potentially help you with your business, optimize different areas of your company, or just, interviewing somebody who has developed their own product and or concept within a business that would be relevant to whomever's is listening to this. But this is a special interview for us. I've got Navya Vyas on with us, who is a young business person, still in high school, who is actually going to share with us the journey that he's taken for his business, which is Candela Lux, and that is a candle business. And super pumped and want to kind of give you guys the inside of how someone young like Navya has actually taken this into consideration and really kind of driven it forward, and looking forward to kind of getting a deep dive in this. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Navya. Navya, thanks so much for jumping on with us today.
Of course.
Really exciting. So,
I'm good.
so Navya, first question, and I gotta like launch it out here. You don't have to tell me your age, but you're in high school. What grade are you? Like, what's your situation? I mean, I was very surprised to know that we're gonna do this when in reality, many people in your age group would be doing 100 different things over the summer, and one of them was not building a candle personal care business, which I'm really excited to talk to you about. But walk us through, like, where you at? Are you still in school? Are you not in school? What's the situation?
So yeah, I'm moving into grade 11
Amazing.
at North Park Secondary School here in Brampton, Ontario.
Okay.
Um, there's nothing really like special about what I learned specifically in high school. I've gotten lots of opportunities with high school. Like I've been to many different networking events, mainly like school held events where I'd get the chance to meet with not just like the students, but the parents and a lot of different people. Um, yeah, that's where I am. That's where
Awesome.
I'm at in high school wise.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
that's incredible to hear, man. I'm telling you. And walk us through what got you interested in doing this. And it sounds like you're the entrepreneurial mindset where like you're always curating a business idea of some sort and trying something. But what got you? Walk us through the story before Candela Lux. What made you start it, and kind of where you're at right now with it.
So, as a kid, I never would have imagined like running a candle business or even starting a candle business at such a young age, especially. I first like started in when I was in grade 6. Now, this time I wasn't like, officially doing business. I joined a after school program, and this was right before COVID happened. So, in that after school program, we were like, we make different things after school. And one of those days we made a candle. So the school provided us with wax, and they just taught us like very simple, very basic level stuff about how to make a candle. And from there, I enjoyed doing it. It was fun, and it certainly didn't bore me.
Yeah,
So I talked to my dad and I bought more supplies. And from there, I had the idea, like, why not make candles and then like go out and sell them? Because from a young age, I love talking to people. I love going out talking to people, like finding how they are, stuff like that.
that's so cool.
So from there, I started off with like smaller candles. We didn't have that many variety at that time because I was still in grade 6. And
Incredible.
right after that, COVID-19 started, so everything was in lockdown, so didn't really have much growth at that time. After that, in grade 8, it was slow. We had just moved, so there was like a lot of transition happening, moving to a new school, moving houses. So there was still less growth at that time. But once I got into high school, um, I got to meet with a lot of different people, especially those who have business. And I took the business course. So our teacher introduced us to a program with the city of Brampton.
Hmm.
Essentially, it's for young entrepreneurs who, have interest in starting business, right? So at that time, I was too young to do it, but I thought, like, why not develop it a little bit more so that when the actual program comes, I can get to the real, expansion of the business.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, at that time, I just focused on learning not even about making candles, but like how to do business. Like, what are some things I should be keeping in mind when I'm meeting with customers or talking to potential customers? So that's what I focused on. And then this year, I tried out the program with the city of Brampton, and it's a really great program. It's with the Brampton Entrepreneur Center.
Right.
Um, Basically, we're given a $3,000 grant, and you're like, we're given opportunities to go to networking events and just simple things like that. But just it's the simple things that, like, give you the boost and that motivation to keep going, like going above and beyond and doing things that most people wouldn't be able to do at this age.
Yeah, that's so cool to hear. And honestly, I commend you. And I'm gonna say this a lot because I get super, super excited when I see young people like yourself, which, super mature, very intelligent, but also you have this drive, and you had this drive at such a young age to kind of want to do this, which, I'll be honest with you, demotivates a lot of adults, let alone teenagers that are committed to kind of do something out of this, which is incredible. And it just leads me to believe you're going to do some amazing stuff. But when you approach your dad at a young age, and when you had received this grant, uh, what at what point, like, what involvement did your parents have? Because, look, $3,000 is a lot of money to be managing, for anything, let alone to kind of put it towards a business that you haven't been involved with that extensively to kind of know what to do to build it. Did your parents get involved, or were they just like, let's take a back seat and, let Navya do his thing, and we want to trust that he'll go through the process the way he needs to by himself?
So, my dad actually has a clinic of his own.
Okay.
So he's already somewhat into that business mindset too. So from a young age, I've been around him and I've learned a thing or two, right? And I've been growing up with that mindset where, I don't want to be working for somebody else. I want to be like my dad. I want to be working for myself, having my
Right,
own.
right, right.
So I guess that's something that got me into the mindset of, like, starting my own business at one point or another. Um, Initially, um, before like any grants or anything, I got the support from my parents
Yeah,
because obviously they want to see me succeed, and
sure.
they've been with me every step of the way. Um, yeah, like
That's awesome.
even when I was to go out to market, they'd come out, they'd help me, they'd teach me things on like what to do. Cause like obviously, I can try to do things myself, but having my parents there just made me feel more comfortable. Like I had something, like if I were to fall, there's something that's gonna hold me back up. So even at times where I'd feel demotivated, and during COVID times, they'd still like they'd want me to just keep on learning, keep on going. Like if I stop, then it's gonna be hard to get back up. But like if I consistently keep going, then I'm not like it's gonna be harder to stop, right? So
Good.
they're the consistency that I needed,
That's
and
awesome.
it's really great having their support as well.
For sure. And the reason why I asked is because, look, I'm a dad of two young kids, younger than you, but, kids in general, like, they're always going to want to try something, and parents always want the best for their kids. And there's this fork in the road where it's like, okay, do I go there to be this cushion if they fall, because then I can support them with whatever they're trying to do. And in the case of my children, they're, again, younger than you. What they're experiencing now, you experienced 5 years ago. And so,
Mhm.
but there's always that opportunity to be like, okay, I want to be that cushion. So I don't want them, if they do fall, I don't want them to get hurt, so to speak, and they'll get right back up and do it again. But when you're talking about getting involved in a business and putting money into it, and actually, you are creating the adult lemonade stand where you're going out there and you're selling products, and you're
Mhm.
putting your name out there. Um, there's this. I respect your parents in the sense that, like, they're there behind you to support you, but it sounded like they really wanted you to kind of do this as much as you can on your own, knowing that mom and dad are there just in case you need that extra support, which is super awesome because, you have that reassurance that that connection is there for you, but, allowed you to kind of go out on your own and do your thing. And that's only going to allow you to just get better and better as you get older, believe me, because you're
Yeah.
getting that experience right now. Navya, are you really like using the fact that you're a teenager in high school running this business, or are you not mentioning that at all when you're selling your products?
I try not to when I'm selling my products because I don't want to get my customers to just buy something because I'm young and they want to, help out a younger business. But more so, I want them to get the product because of the quality of the product. Like, I don't want to oversell anything. I don't want people to buy things that they don't need, but I more so just target people who'd want to buy, who'd want them, because there's a lot of people. Having candles is a lot of things, especially in like decoration businesses. When you have events such as weddings, anniversaries, candles are great decorations. So that's what I try to target more. Um, so yeah, I tend to leave out the part that I'm in high school. Of course, like when I'm introducing them, or if the conversation goes on a little bit deeper and we start like, introducing ourselves, I'd bring it up, but like I don't want to like push that thing too much on them where they're gonna want to be like, yeah, let's buy it because it's a young
Yeah.
business.
Wow. What a smart, like mature answer. That's amazing. And again, I commend you for it because like, you know, you strike me as the individual that is business first. My age and what I'm doing is second. Whereas you just validated the fact that you're focusing on the product, and the product speaks for itself. If customers don't want it, the customers don't want the product.
Exactly.
No obligation because you may be younger than the average person in this business today. So
Yeah.
so Navya, I like this because I really want a lot of younger people getting out there and exploring the world of being an entrepreneur, and whether it's using this to your advantage to develop the future for your career, or just exploring things where it opens you up to things you have never been exposed to. What are some of the challenges you're faced with when managing being a teenager, going to school, having responsibilities at home, and trying to run a business that has the opportunity to really grow and develop? And how do you balance that? Like, what do you do? What's your strategy for that?
So yeah, at times it does get complicating because there's like right now a summer vacation. So like I
Yeah,
have plenty of time to focus specifically on the business because I have no other obligations. Um, But when school's on, it definitely gets more hectic, especially when you have to prioritize certain things over other things.
yeah,
So obviously when school's on, my like highest prioritization is for like school. Like I don't want to be like that kid who's just focusing everything on one thing and then like not on anything else. So even in school, I'm really involved, and that not just helps me in school, but that helps me like get out of my comfort zone. Especially when I have to meet new people. So it's just soft skills like that that not only help in school but like help in the business world too. But as far as like managing everything, um, I try my best to make like timetables just to make sure that like okay, like I have a software on my computer. It's called Notion. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
yes, sir.
Either way, I like to keep it updated. That way, like every morning I just go through, check, just know how my day looks like. That way I'm prepared. Like this morning, I checked that, oh wait, I have a meeting today. So that way I was mentally prepared. Like this morning I went to the gym, but always had that thing in mind that I have to get home at this time just to make sure I'm ready for my meeting.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's just
incredible.
smaller things like that, but those smaller things really help you organize your way and make sure that you're prepared for whatever's to come. Because if you're not ready, it's a lot of mental burden, especially
Yeah,
if you're trying everything at once and it doesn't happen. It's very demotivating.
yeah.
So I find that to be very helpful, especially
Good
in
for you.
managing time for everything.
Good for you. Like you're understanding and grasping the time management concept at a young age, where again, many adults, myself included, as I was, finishing school and figuring out what I wanted to do, time management was very difficult because you're so lured into just doing anything that's there at the moment rather than just prioritizing what you should be doing to get things done and avoiding procrastination at its best. But so I'm curious to know, is being an entrepreneur what you really want to do, or is this something you're trying out now to determine it's what you want to do? Or are you studying in school to be something specific, and doing this on the side, whether it's to make money or just kill time, or explore something that you may not be exposed to down the road? Like, what's your true passion? What do you want to do, I guess, as you finish or go through school?
As far as passion goes, there's one thing, like no matter what I'm going to be doing, I don't want to be stuck working for somebody else. Like
Okay.
that's just like my main thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously it's not gonna be like that, especially in the beginning.
yeah.
So passion wise, I'm aspiring to pursue law.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, especially when you're when you first get your degree, obviously you're not going to start off right off the bat with your own firm. You have to gradually work up the ladder, gain
Yeah.
that experience. Make sure you're ready for it before you actually like do it on your own. So that's basically why I started a business so young, because this gives me the opportunity to already like start getting out of my comfort zone early, so it's less pressure on me as time goes on, because I don't know the situation I'm going to be in the future. All I know right now, I have that time, I have the energy that I can do new things with, like even if it doesn't work out, it's not going to like have any long-term impacts on me.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm at the point right now where like I got everything to gain if I do it and nothing to lose if I don't.
Good for you. A great mindset too to have, and
Oh yeah.
that's amazing. And so the reason why I ask about your passion is, you know, you don't have a passion for like design or creativity, and it's not like out there like you're looking at every single day. So how do you stay on top of the products you're making within your business? How do you know when to change products, when to introduce new ones, how to adapt to the market? Like what's your go-to strategy for Candela Lux to kind of keep products going?
So, usually, when I give out my products, I usually tend to reach out to those customers, let's say, 1, 2 weeks after the sale, just to see, like, get their feedback on the product. What is something they liked? What is something they didn't? If there's something they liked, then I'll note it down so like I can keep it going in future products. If it's something they don't like, then it's something I know that I should change. That way it would help my products be better fit for my customers. Let's say something with candles, right? Color wise, like did they like the color, did they want it, would they prefer a darker or lighter color, stuff like that. Or like how was the fragrance throw, right? Candles, like that's one of the main things, like how much fragrance is the candle releasing at a time. So depending on like the customer, and maybe everybody doesn't like, some people might like a lighter fragrance throw, some people might like more. So
Yeah.
giving my customers the choice to add that is actually feedback I got from one of my customers. So something that I might want to consider in the future would be to like, give them the option on my website that, okay, do you want lighter fragrance throw, higher fragrance throw? Make it more personalized to like what my customers want.
Yeah.
And that's basically like the whole point about my business. Like you can go out to like, let's say Bath and Body Works and get a candle, but like I want to prioritize giving like personalized candles. Like there shouldn't be a limit to like, if you want a green candle with a rose smell, they're like completely different things, but like if you want it, you want it. It's your
Sure.
personalized choice. So
Yeah.
that's basically what I focus on. Other than that, based on like, trends on the type of candles people want, I usually follow different candle stores on Instagram just to see like what are my competitors posting. And if they're posting something, they already have marketing teams that they pay a lot of money to just to find out what do people want. So might as well utilize their
Yeah. Smart.
resources for, my benefit, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, are you just in candles, or is there any other products that you make as well?
So at the moment, I'm just selling candles.
Amazing.
I want to move on, like expand hopefully in the next year or two to like soap, sanitizer,
Great.
other things that would fall into similar categories.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, at the moment, we're just getting started. Um, and it's not something I do full time.
Yeah,
So it's gonna take time to like, um expand my brand a little bit more.
yeah. But you're learning along the way, which is really good. And
Exactly.
you're getting lessons taught to you by running this business that, in my opinion, you're not going to get in school to the level of detail you're getting with firsthand experience.
Exactly. Because
So,
like in school, they'll teach you like the basic soft skills of like the things you need to know, like how the market works and stuff like that. But like you're not actually gonna get real experience until you experience that stuff firsthand.
sure. Yeah,
Like
no,
there's gonna be, but thing with firsthand, like um there's gonna be wins, but there's also gonna be losses, and just have to be ready to deal with all of that, right?
yeah, of course. Yeah, no, listen, you gotta, as I mentioned, you got a very mature mindset with a very forward thinking vision, which is extremely rare. specifically in young people. And my advice to you, which I wish I can give you a ton of it because I'd love to, but one piece of advice is, keep that mindset and expect nothing and just continue moving forward, because then what's going to happen is you'll be able to learn from every experience along the way. And I think hope that there's so many young people that can hear this interview, because they'll get to understand that you've clearly proven that you can do it at any stage. You put your mind to something and you understand how to prioritize what to do, and don't overburden yourself, because you've mentioned something very, very important, which is, within a year or 2 years, you're looking to expand the product lines, as opposed to saying, I want to do this all within a month or 2 months. And that's obviously unachievable with, your current schedule, especially with school coming around the corner. And so it's such an important thing to understand that, whether you are an entrepreneur or not, just starting something and getting out there and really learning and getting that exposure adds another layer of depth to your growth that you may not necessarily get through just school, for instance, right? Or just getting a part-time job, killing time. So I totally respect what you've done, and respect the journey you've been on. How can people find you? Where are they going to go? What's the website? What's the Instagram? What do you got? How can people find you?
So yeah, I've got Instagram. I've got my own website. Still working more towards getting a proper domain. Right now, I'm using Shopify to just
Love
get
it.
started, getting out there, and then once time goes on, we'll purchase a proper domain. For my website, for my Instagram, everyone can just go to Candela Lux Official.
Candela Lux Official. We're going to have all the links in your
Yeah,
head on this as well. So, but just so that people can understand what it is. So it's Candela Lux Official.
yep, that's just my Instagram handle, and you can
Amazing.
find me on there. And then we have a link to my website on my bio as well, but we'll also link it down in the
Sweet.
description.
And so if someone's on your Instagram, they want to ask you a question or do something, is it you responding or is someone else responding to them?
So right now is going to be me responding. You can
Amazing.
directly reach out to me just by even DMing me, or on my website, there is a contact us question. So you can just send your name, email, and your question, and then I'll get right back to you as soon as I can.
Awesome, man. Listen, this was so cool. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I mean, but thanks so much for doing this. And I hope that this goes out to tons of people to see, because, like I mentioned in the beginning, when we normally do this, we're doing this with, whether it's already established businesses or individuals that have been doing this for quite some time. And while those are such interesting conversations to have, because they come with obviously a ton of value and experience, this is equal, if not more interesting, in the sense that, you're coming from a perspective that not many people would expect to hear from such a young person like yourself, who sounds like you've been doing this for a while, which is extremely incredible and so cool to see, man. So keep that going, and really, really excited to have this opportunity to chat with you. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you grow. You're going to do a ton of amazing things, by the way. So
Thank you.
excited for that. And, best of luck. And as you obviously may know, we'll be in the busier season of the year. So where people typically tend to buy more, candles and home fragrances, just the fact that
Yeah.
side more. So I wish you all the best in the busy season, and just keep going, and really looking forward to seeing you progress, man. Thanks so much for jumping on here.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man.